Valar Morghulis, people of the Seven Kingdoms, the watch begins. It's Game of Thrones season, guys, and guess what? I decided to come out of hibernation, especially for this one. Y'all know that I don't joke around with my GOT, okay? And season 8 is around the corner, so I decided to do a quick, recap of what happened between season 1 and season 7. It's the Delphine, guys. Join me as I watch GOT season 8 on DSTV channel 101.
Hey, excuse me over there. I don't need a disclaimer. This is my channel. Argue with your pets. If you don't have one, maybe argue with your best friend. If you don't have that either, I can't help you. All opinions are mine, and that's that.
If you're new here, yoo-hoo! And if you're an OG, welcome back. It's the Delphine here, and we're going to be doing quick highlights of season 1 to 7 of Game of Thrones in 7 minutes. Let's see if we can do that. The clock starts now. I remember binge watching season 1 of Game of Thrones while I was in school doing my master's, and I remember being so pumped about it. I wanted to tell everyone I could find about this new, amazing, incredible show I had just found. It got me so pumped. I couldn't wait for the next season. I went and bought all the books, guys. I read everything before season 2 started. Okay, highlights, here we go. Season 1, The Fall of Bran. We all know that Game of Thrones will not have a plot if the Starks did not journey to King's Landing. But the whole journey actually of the Game of Thrones plot started in Winterfell in the north. Remember when Jaime and his sister were being incestuous and little Bran happened upon them, and Jaime did what? He pushed Bran from the tower and he fell and lost the use of his legs. That was the beginning, and I'm like, yo, this show hasn't even started and people are losing their limbs. I thought that Crow act was bad enough until, guess what? Ned Stark loses his head. This guy just wasn't politically savvy. Can we talk for a second about how Sean Bean seems to always die in all the movies and TV shows that he has appeared in, well, except for one? Why? Is it like the curse of the Sean Bean? If you see Sean Bean in a movie, just know that his character is about to die. Season 2, this one kicks off with the War of the Five Kings, all vying for the Iron Throne. Some of the highlights, okay, we see Theon Greyjoy, who happens to be a ward of the Starks. He becomes a turncloak. He betrays the entire Stark family. He kills and plunders and takes over Winterfell. He tries to kill Bran and Rickon, but they escape, and then he finds 2 young boys, kills them and strings them on the walls and declares to the whole of Winterfell, saying that these are your Stark sons, Bran and Rickon. He instills fear in them. He did all of this obviously to get in favor with his family back at the Iron Islands. And guess what? After betraying the Starks, with whom he grew up, he goes to the Iron Islands to sort of go back and get back in things and then become the head. But guess what? His sister is already there making moves, and his own men, turn on him. A turned cloak becomes turned on. Not turned on like turned on. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, that's. Another major highlight from season 2 was the Red Woman, Melisandre, when she gave birth. Jesus. When she gave birth to that shadow baby. Woo! That was some creepy stuff. The creepiest thing that I have seen on television. My goodness. And then we had Sir Davos lurking in the shadows. He watched the whole thing from start to finish, and we understand eventually that that shadow baby is what killed Renly Baratheon. Moving on, season 3. Is there really any point talking about any other highlight from season 3 other than the Red Wedding? I must confess, I did not watch season 3 because of the Red Wedding. Like I mentioned earlier, I had read the books, so I knew what was coming. I know how crazy my imagination is, so I didn't want to add to it by watching that in reality or like in make-believe and then carrying that along with me as I go on. But I did watch the reactions from all over the world to the Red Wedding, and it was fun to watch. Watching people watch the Red Wedding was more fun than watching the Red Wedding itself. I must say that I'm watching the Red Wedding for the first time because obviously I'm gonna edit this video and I'm gonna put bits of it behind me. But yeah, I refused to watch it because I had already imagined it years before season 3 came out, so I just didn't want to have any part of that. The Red Wedding was bloody, it was brutal, it was inhumane. All this happened because the King of the North, Robb Stark, refused to marry the one who he had been betrothed to, one of Walder Frey's daughters. He wanted to marry Slay Queen Nurse Talisa, but well, here's what a Slay Queen will get you. To get you death of yourself, death of your pregnant wife, and death of your mother, Catelyn Stark. Moving on, season 4. Okay, one of the major highlights was the trial by combat. We all saw in season 4 that Tyrion Lannister was accused of killing Joffrey Baratheon, who was actually a Lannister, and then he asked for trial by combat. Oberyn Martell, who was visiting from the Dornish kingdoms, happened to be around and decides to fight in Tyrion's stead. He's placed against the Mountain, that's the Hound's older brother, to fight, and everything is going on so well. Oberyn is doing his thing, you know, spinning his spear, being all stylish, and you know, had this gait about him, doing his thing. The fight is going well. He had stabbed the Mountain in the chest. Obviously, his spear was laced with poison, as all Dornish people are known to carry poison around. You know, it looked like he was going well and the Mountain was about to die, and then he becomes careless. He loses his step. The Mountain grabs him by the ankle, takes him to the ground, pins him, and squashes his head, gouges out his eyes. Gosh, yo, Game of Thrones is bloody, guys. Another highlight from season 4 is that our favorite wildling girl, Ygritte, who always accused our favorite bastard Stark, Jon Snow, of being an Olodo, finally dies in his arms with the last words being, "You know nothing, Jon Snow." Season 5. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you thought Joffrey Baratheon was evil and you thought Walder Frey was the devil's spawn, then you obviously hadn't met Ramsay Bolton, because he was the devil himself. This was one of the craziest, the best villains I've seen in Game of Thrones. Seeing his character evolve from that unsure bastard boy from the north to this evil person. The Bolton bastard initially feigned kindness to our red-haired dainty princess, Sansa Stark, who obviously, I don't know, the Sansa hate is real, but I'm not one of those people. I really don't care. But yeah, their wedding night was nothing to write home about, or many things to write about. It was terrible, yeah. He's evil. Season 5 wrapped with the horrifying death of Jon Snow. We see how he's stabbed by some of his comrades, his very own men who thought that he was a traitor. They stabbed him one after the other till he died in cold blood. Whew, it was chilling, and that happened to be the finale of that season. Wicked, HBO. Season 6. Yo, Melisandre, the Red Lady, is back again with her juju, but this time she used her witchcraft to resurrect our favorite bastard, Jon Snow, at the behest of Sir Davos. So thanks to Sir Davos, Jon Snow is alive. Jon Snow, having risen from the dead, goes ahead to obviously kill all the people who had previously assassinated him. I know this sounds weird, but how do you kill someone that has assassinated you? You're supposed to be dead. Anyway, he had resurrected. Yeah, you get the drift. Of course, we can't talk about season 6 without talking about the epic battle of the bastards. Jon Snow versus Ramsay Bolton. This battle was a cinematic beauty. Oh my goodness, it could be a standalone movie on its own. It was just so amazing to watch. So pristine, so precise, so gory, so just a lot of grit, you know. It was so good. I loved it. Obviously ended in Ramsay Bolton's defeat, and then we see that he's eaten by his own hounds. Drum rolls, please. Season 7, the birth of an ice dragon. Can I just say that the Night King is a boss? Like, how do you turn a dragon into an ice-breathing baby. Like, I love how he just raises his hands and the dead become the undead with ice blue eyes and they're ready to fight and whatnot. Like, the Night King is a boss. Let's not even go there. I can't wait to see what he does, what more he does with the Ice Dragon in season 8. Also, another highlight from season 7, we see now that Jon Snow is obviously of Targaryen heritage. Remember that fan theory that was going all over the internet? R plus L equals J. That means Rhaegar Targaryen plus Lyanna Stark equals Jon Snow. There's really not, is it really fan fiction? This is true now. We eventually found out that it wasn't just a conspiracy theory. This was real, guys. Like, Jon Snow is of royal blood and his ass, his butt is to be sat on the Iron Throne. Well, let's see how that ends up. Again, it's the Delphinator here. Join me as I watch Game of Thrones on DSTV channel 101. Do not forget to subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and share this video. Until the next one, toodles! Dun, 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 dun. So I can do this, but I can't bring it back. I really don't know why. It just looks weird. Okay, bye guys.